fantastic. And maybe the student doesn't even want a book. They've got their own iPad. They just wanted to experience something in the typical world. You know, they're there with their family. This is their support while they're in that environment. I just can't recommend these strongly enough. All libraries have computers now, correct? For people to use? Somebody answer, man in suit? Yes, okay. People with autism are bullied. We are the quintessential victim. Because most of us don't fight back. I certainly didn't fight back until I was an adult. And I've been bullied online. I hate you, go die. You should kill yourself. Some of my things, because I'm active in a group to preserve the Holocaust through a Facebook project. I actually am the creator of it. And I've had numerous emails based on that. You kike should go die. Hitler was right. These are horrible things to see. But I'm 51. You imagine being 10, pulling up your account and seeing this? If those children are using the library to access their emails, I assume they can do that on library computers? Man in suit? Yes, okay. You may have some extreme meltdowns that happen because of this. It's not going to be uncommon. Some of you may have already experienced these. Because, as I said, it's extremely common. And I think we'll go to the next one. So, you're going to have people that may be in extreme meltdown. I've been in extreme meltdown. Chuck has had to help me when I've been in extreme meltdown. And it's not pretty. And I can be someplace doing something. To give you an idea, I used to attend a summer camp for autistic people, autistic adults in Indiana. And I was all set to go. And then the Boy Scouts bought the camp. And the Boy Scouts don't share. So we couldn't use the camp anymore, so camp was canceled. So I got the email, camp was canceled. And I had been laughing and joking, and I pull up that email, read it, and I have gone from happy, pull up the next slide, please. I've gone from happy to extreme meltdown in like 2.5 seconds. And apparently that's not a common thing for typical people. There's more of a gradual, whatever. But most people with autism, this is the case. We can go from I just won $1 billion in the lottery to my whole family's been killed in like literally 2 seconds. This whole range of emotion, we don't go through them, we jump. And does that make sense? And so you're dealing with a person who came in happy and fine, and now they're crying, they're screaming, they're pulling out their hair, they're hitting themselves. And what do you do? First of all, ask them what the question is. Don't touch them. Many of us have major sensory issues. Touching hurts me. Literally. Touching hurts. So don't touch. Ask them what's wrong. We've only got 10 minutes. See if the child or the adult can explain it to you. Maybe they can show you an email. Maybe they're trying to sign. Maybe it was something like this boy was signing Spider. there was a spider there. That would set me off. I have a major phobia of those. You can try to make eye contact with the child or the adult, we won't make eye contact back. But it's comforting to know that you're there. Go back.
Go back?
Yeah. Have a sheet that they may have in school that says, that says, take deep breaths, count to 10. They have probably been prompted to do this in their school. Inhale, exhale. Show them that. Remind them. Again, they've probably been taught to do this in their school. And you can hear, Austin is nearly 20, and Jackie, I've had her say it to me. Breathe, stop, inhale, exhale, breathe. Say it in a calm voice, not loud. Try to remove the person to a private room. If they're an autistic adult or an older child, they're there by themselves, they're going to have a cell phone. Ask if they would like to call someone. Have them, I've been upset enough that I've had to have people, I've had to show them the phone, Chuck and Jackie's names are highlighted, and to push it, and that would connect them. Let them hear mom or dad's voice. Mom or dad's voice may be able to calm them down. Ask mom and dad if they would like to come pick the child up or the adult up. Just be very calm and listen to them. Not to try to reason. If I'm in a meltdown because a spider just fell on me, what do you think your words are going to do? Not a lot. I've just got to kind of work through it. I'm probably not going to be in a major meltdown because of that, but it's going to cause a meltdown. But just listen. I may just want to vent. I don't like spiders. This was awful. It grazed my hand. It hurt. I'm scared of spiders, and it was a big one, and it hurt. And why is it in the library? I wasn't in the spider section. And it's okay to chuckle. It's okay to make a joke. That's how Chuck and Jackie diffuse me, is with jokes, with humor. They're not laughing at me. It's a joke about something else. It may be a crude joke, or calling attention to something that's very funny. I mean, if I was in meltdown here, Jackie might actually say, "Why are there lights up there? They're not illuminating anything." And if I hadn't noticed them, I might look and go, "Oh yeah." And now I've forgotten the spider, and I'm on to something else. Meltdown has gradually diffused. Meltdowns don't tend to go like other emotions coming out of a meltdown. Meltdowns, you can pretty much know when you're getting ready to go into one and trying to come out of one. Meltdowns are frightening. Libraries are also places that people with autism can gain work experience. If you want books put precisely back on the shelves in neat rows, have an autistic person do it. We show up for work. We are pretty thorough and detailed in what we do. And so try, if you can, volunteer positions. It gives the person a chance to interact with their community and to work, to get a job feeling. And it's libraries are public, they're for everybody. And this is a fantastic experience. You just might have to pull them out of like the airplane or dinosaur section or something. One of the things that you're going to see, and there's a service dog here, and you're seeing more and more of these. They are fantastic. Service, I'm a big believer, and I know some people have problems with service dogs. In Illinois, you can have any service animal except a monkey. Which is odd because monkeys are the ones that like ring cups and stuff. I don't know why you couldn't have a monkey. He could bring you Kool-Aid. The dog can't do that. They're fetch a newspaper. But mostly you see dogs. They're very calming. I had a YouTube friend that I would talk to, and she had a service dog, and her YouTube channel was about educating people about autism and service dogs. And unfortunately, she was shot and killed by the police in Mesa, Arizona a few weeks ago in a situation that did not have to happen. But I'm not giving a speech to law enforcement, so I'll skip that. But you're going to see these service dogs, and they're fantastic. If your person is going into meltdown, know that that service dog is what they're there for. Many autistic people, autism is the condition of low self-esteem. It is what we were born with. Because it's not so evident until you're in school age. And once you become school age, you know you're different. And your self-esteem plummets. I had given up by the time I was in second grade. My second grade teacher would say to me, Marty, just math, I'm terrible at math. Would say to me, just put your head down on your desk and take a nap. The rest of us are going to do math. Because math was so frustrating to me. It still is. And yet, I was happy I didn't have to do the math. But I was singled out. People thought, children taunted me. You're a retard. It's just a name, it's a word I just despise. It's still used as a taunt by kids. We can't do things that typical people can do often. So our self-esteem plummets. If we have a sense that we're important, that we matter in the scheme of our community, our school, our home, our libraries, our restaurants, everything else will kind of come together. If we have the self-esteem to move on and do things, it makes all the difference in the world. And as a person coming into contact with autistic children and adults, you can help that self-esteem, or you can tear it down. It's up to you. You can shout at a child to get up off the floor and take one book and go sit at the table. Or if he's coming over to show you airplane pictures constantly, you can look at him. 5 minutes out of your day to look at airplane pictures ad nauseum won't do much for you. In reality, it'll mean a lot to that kid. People always ask how I met Chuck and Jackie. My doctor is sat on the board of directors for the Autism Society of McLean County, Autism McLean, that Jackie started, his wife started. And my doctor said to me I needed to meet her, and said to Jackie she needed to meet me. I'm a selective mute. There are times I cannot speak. It's not because I don't want to. Okay, there are times I just don't want to. But most of the time it's because I can't. And I had been 3 years not able to speak when I met Jackie. Hadn't spoken. And I had a job I didn't have to speak in. And I wrote things to Jackie, and she sang back, and she talked back, she mimed back, and we communicated. I mimed, I wrote, I hissed, and basically, I've never left. We met at the Olive Garden for dinner. Oh look, there's Chuck. There's Jackie, and there's Jackie's two sons. They're 20 now, or 19 now. This is my world. So, this is my family, and I get my self-esteem from my family. My biological family, they're wonderful people, but I had to compete with a brother who skipped 2 grades in school and graduated magna cum laude. Can you imagine?
Okay, thank you.
So one of the things that you have to do as a library is educate the community. Hold, what do I want to say? Forums for people to come, maybe once every few months. People with autism to come and learn, have a speaker come, have a parent talk. Educate the community, both with adults and with children. Because if you educate the community, then that child won't feel left out, they won't feel alone, they'll feel important, like all other kids feel important, they'll fit in, and they want to fit in. We want to fit in. We want to do it at our own rules, but we want to fit in, and we should be able to do that. Exceptions are made for people in wheelchairs and people who can't hear. Some exceptions have to be made for autism, and it starts with you guys and with teachers, with the authorities in the community, because what you want is the pale green pants of the neurotypical world. Charlie!
Sorry.
There was my dramatic ending. Boo! Everybody boo! Thank you. Because you want the autistic child and the community to not be afraid of each other, to not distance themselves. You want them to meet each other and say hi, and be comfortable, and proceed on with life. And be a part of your library. And that is it. He ruined my big ending. Anybody have any questions? Nope, okay. Oh, of course you do.
You mentioned early on the county in your room 23 hours a day. As a grown-ups, in hindsight, are you grateful for having gone through frustrations and people that got you out?
Yes, I am. I didn't talk about it in this, but I've had many life experiences. I went to culinary school in Ireland. I worked on a dive boat as a chef and a dive guide off the island of St. Martin. I've lived in Los Angeles and Tucson, and I've done many things that I've kind of been encouraged to do through various programs and various people. So yeah, I am. And I may not show up at the time. Marty, it's game night, get up here. Oh crap. But I enjoy it when I'm up. But I'm thankful. I don't ever say I'm thankful, but I'm thankful that I'm pushed out and pushed into those experiences yet. Because it's vital that children have those experiences, because that's how people grow and learn. It's their experiences. And if we don't get them, we live our lives in our rooms, which some parents are fine with. Most parents are not and should not be. So, anything else? Yes? there are several, the Zacks and the tracks. He published it as a collection. He published a couple of books as a collection. I Can Lick 20 Tigers Today or something like that. I can do a mean reading of the Glunk the Gut Thunk, let me tell you. Anything else? Yes?
What school did you go to in Arizona that helped you so much?
The University of Arizona. It was the University of Arizona SALT program. And it still exists today, although the woman who started it has passed away. And I probably shouldn't say this because I don't know, but I doubt that it has the individual attention that it did then. She was an amazing woman. She was beyond amazing. Anything else? Yes? I didn't hear a word of that. I didn't hear that. Can somebody?
I've got a big voice all wrestling. Would it have made a difference in your life if you had gotten your diagnosis before Arizona?
I did have a diagnosis. But because I had a few words, and at the time, you could not have any words and be diagnosed as autistic, I had an autism-like condition. Then I was diagnosed with autism in college. My parents knew there was something different, but autism-like condition was not a category that Illinois recognized, so I got no special education. Yes, it would have made a difference. It would have made a difference for me to know, and for other people to know in my classrooms. I think, although the kids I went to school with, I don't think it would have mattered. They were a bunch of jerks. And I didn't even get to tell my principal the school story. That's a bad one. Anything else? Yes?
Marty, thank you for sharing your story. And we've been talking about the difference between people first language and referring to a person with autism, and some people who prefer to identify as autistic. And I was wondering if you could address that from your personal point of view, for yourself.
How you address yourself as autistic, or?
Or just to help us understand that anything you might want to share about that movement from I'm someone who has autism to I'm autistic. If you would reflect on your own thoughts about it, or if you could talk about what people think about it.
Well, there are a couple of movements in autism that I have taken public disagreement with. And I won't go on because it's a long one. But I'm trying to.
Sure. We have recently learned that some people with autism choose to self-identify as autistic, but we're usually still talking about people first language. So I just asked Marty to reflect on her opinions on that.
You prefer to be referred to as an autistic person or a person with autism? Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. To me, it doesn't matter. It's sort of like I have a friend who's deaf. Is he deaf or hearing impaired? I have hearing impairments. There are really some polarizing movements within the autistic community, and they're really prickly about some of that stuff. I ignore that. There's the I have autism and I'm so proud, same thing. They prefer to say I have autism. Okay, whatever. And I've found this online too. If I were deaf, I'd just be deaf. I wouldn't be proud or ashamed. Simply would be. And it's the same way with autism. So I would say whichever way you address them, and if somebody takes it, exception to how you address it. Just redo it and don't try not to roll your eyes. Most of us understand eye rolls. And I think we're running out of time. Thank you so much.